Women in the workplace. This is a popular topic. I've never actually done a full video on this, so I figure I should, just because it's actually a pretty big thing. I think it's pretty important because a lot of men are in the unfortunate situation of working with women nowadays because we let this happen. Now I could go into all that, but we made our bed. Now we have to sleep in it, I suppose. Um, you really don't. So I have experience with this, a good amount of experience with working with women. I no longer do. Um, I think if you can, first and foremost, what I will say right off the bat is if you can leave your job, your current job, and preferably to a job that has a highly male atmosphere, non-corporate, maybe a small business or something like construction or something where you're getting your hands dirty or something where just women haven't infiltrated, I would do that. That's kind of the job that I have. And that's why I like the job. I'm autonomous. I'm a delivery dude. My boss is super chill. Me and him are close. It's a small business, so I don't have to deal with any women while working at all. I don't have to answer to women, none of that, because I've done that for many years, and I'm done. I'll never do it again. And this is really only something this is what I came to after retaining semen for long enough. I would be remiss if I didn't mention semen retention, how this is paramount to, if you're going to be in an environment where you're working with women, you have to be retaining semen. Have to be, in my opinion. That's like it's non-negotiable. You have to, because you have to have your full energy. You have to have huge amounts of energy coursing through you, because that masculine power, that masculine energy, number one, the women that you work with are actually going to respect you. It's an energetic thing, bro. You don't realize it until you start doing it. It's an energetic thing. I can't tell you why it happens, but it happens. You're going to just start carrying yourself in a lot more confident way, just naturally. You're going to be able to do a lot more. You're going to be able to think not only a lot quicker, but you're going to be able to think of different things at once. So your multitasking capacity will skyrocket the longer you retain. And you'll also think more efficiently. So you'll think of solutions to problems that are more efficient than what somebody else would come up with lesser energy or something like that. Now, of course, experience, actual on the job experience, real practical experience, that does take a role. That does have a part. That does an element to it. But even amidst of, even if say a woman does have more on the job practical experience than you, that's all the more reason. That's really all the more reason that you need an abundance of masculine energy within you. You'll be able to handle her a lot better. You'll understand her neuroses, like her women's neuroticism, a lot better. You'll be able to kind of just shrug it off and not take things so personally. And when women see that you're very like non-reactive and that you kind of just treat them like they're like a cat or like a child or something like that, like you feel like you just, he has this sort of aura about him where he always knows better than me or something like that, or he's never fazed by me. It starts to make her more deferential to you, just like naturally. Because really all this stuff really is energetic. it doesn't really matter if like she has more on the job experience than you or like knows more or whatever. She's going to start to feel less confident in her abilities. She's going to start to feel less confident around you. This could potentially cause friction with certain women, especially very feminist, usually overweight, ugly uh, women who dominate in the workplace. Those tend to be the ones that dominate in the workplace because they are overweight and ugly and they can't get a man. And so, because of that reason, because they can't get a man to really not even provide for them, but to just put their neuroses at ease in their mind. The that's really what we do. Then a woman has to. She just gets super neurotic and independent and trying to provide for herself and all this stuff. So, especially women like that can cause friction. Having an abundance of semen in you, being very masculine uh, a workplace like that, it can cause a lot of friction. And what will end up happening is there will be a there will be a, a moment where something's got to give, sort of thing. Um, and then either the higher ups gonna have to choose, what happens. Maybe you get let go, maybe you don't. Maybe I mean, in most of these environments today, they're not gonna fire a woman over like a man, especially if a woman's like complaining about a man. Then usually like the dude's just gone. Unless you're really valuable to the team, in which case then you're just dealing with friction all the time. But it's going to be a weird friction because you're going to sense that there's a lot of, at the same time, she's going to hate you, but then she's also going to be deferential to you. She's going to kind of like, she's going to want, um, she's going to think of you. You can almost sense her thinking of you romantically, but she knows that she's like unattractive and like you don't have any interest in her. And so that makes her like bitter or whatever. Um, I've dealt with all these things, man. What ended up happening for me is I ended up just retaining so much semen for so long that this did happen, all the friction and stuff like that. I started to, I got promoted to manager, although it was still less than her. She was like a manager above me or something like that because she had been there for like 13 years. I had been there for like 2. Um, but yeah, that's what happened. And then I really just came to the conclusion that I didn't want to. The problem was the guy above, like the manager was, these guys are, most of the men that you're going to work with in corporate environments, especially, they're drained. They're they put women on pedestals. They're drained. They're just in the feminists. They live inside the female's mind. They just don't see it yet. They just don't see it. Yeah, they make a lot of money, but they're doing all this stuff to provide for them and buy all this stuff and have all these kids, and they're stressing out, and she's probably cheating on them and making a fool of them. She probably runs the household. So you have to understand that these are most men that are going to be running your companies. So these are like they're not on your side. These men are not on your side. They're the enemy. So they're not going to have your back, unfortunately. And that was kind of the same with this guy. Like he promoted me and he saw that I was doing really well, and she was threatened by me, and but he didn't have the balls to be like, you know what, a man should be the top here. She should she doesn't know what she's doing. Has less energy. She was way less energetic. Didn't like she just stressed about things that she didn't need to stress about. Uh, Eventually, if you retain enough semen, bro, and you get enough on the job experience, you are going to outperform any woman, in my opinion. You will outperform any woman. That's the key. Like, you have to retain the semen. That is the key. And then with the on the job experience, they cannot compete with you. I promise you. No matter how good you think they are, how smart or quick or sharp you think they are, they cannot compete with you. Now, just because they can't compete with you doesn't mean that they aren't more politically savvy than you. Doesn't mean that they don't have the system already in place that's against you. Doesn't mean that they don't have bosses and other men around them that would listen to them more than they listen to you. So there's a lot of uh, abstract forms of power that are at odds against you, like material forms of power, has nothing to do with your capabilities. So even though you might be better than her, and this is what a lot of men like come up against is like, oh, I feel like I'm more capable, I'm sharper, I'm quicker, I make better decisions, I'm more efficient, I make more efficient decisions, I'm more confident with my decisions, all these things. For some reason the company still keeps the woman in, right? This is because women are easier to control. They're just a lot of them, the dudes around like want to sleep with them and stuff. It's just whatever. It's all gay. Like, of course, it's all gay. But so, for me, at a certain point, I just said, well, I don't need to work here anymore. Like, I don't even want to do this. I don't even want to, like, I'm better than this. You know what I mean? I, you're, I would say if you can, that's the way to go. Like, just completely boycott working with women entirely. Like, I think most men, if you can, just boycott working with women entirely. Do not work with women anymore, unless they're women that are beneath you in submissive roles. You have a superior position, all this stuff. But so many women are in superior positions in all sorts of companies now. So it's almost like you just gotta boycott like all corporate. It's just, I mean, it's really crazy. um, it's crazy that what we let happen, right? It's now everybody's starting to be like, what did we do? What did we do? Yeah, yeah. This is what drained nuts will get you. This is what drained nuts will get you. This is all from drained nuts. This is it. The entire world that you see around you is from drained nuts. That's it. That's it. That's all it is. Ejaculation en masse by men. This is what you get. This is what you get. If men do not ejaculate, the world fixes itself. Everything goes back to the natural order. Men above women, women submissive, respectful, all this stuff. Loved. Men loving women, women loving men. It's all from just not ejaculating. It's real simple, bro. So I guess that would be just my advice. Just trying to keep these videos shorter now. But yeah, man, retain. You have to retain. You have to retain your semen, and have some respect for yourself. That's the thing is like when you start retaining your semen, you end up having respect for yourself because you see how crazy everything is. And like, oh my God, all this shit is wrong. And oh my God, all these women are disrespectful around me. And oh my God, they're all walking like monstrosities, abnormalities. They're unnatural. They are a mistake of nature. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna be like, what the hell is this? I got to get out of here. And you'll just get out of your current job. It's really that simple. Just get out of your current job. Have some respect for yourself. Retain your semen. Have your nuts. Like, that's it. That's it. And then you'll feel way better. You get a job where you're actually physically working around other dudes, creating some sort of brotherhood. I don't know. Just get away from where they've all infected. They're all infecting everything. So, um, yeah, that would be my. If you have to work with them, I'm just saying you have to retain semen. If you have to keep your job, if you have to stay in your job, you have to retain your semen to get the upper hand on them, to start gaining respect from other men and the women and the women that you're dealing with, that you're having issues with. You'll gain respect from everybody. You'll start being better at your job, quicker, more efficient, just more confident, everything naturally. You won't have to think about any of this stuff. This will all happen naturally. But that's like key. And then eventually there'll be something's got to give. Something's got to give. That moment will happen eventually. And just know that it's coming, and you might have to exit, or maybe you duke it out and she leaves, or she crumbles, or you just keep sort of butting heads or whatever, making it work. I don't know. You'll figure it out. So that's it. That's the video.